Good morning, ChristCentral Church. Just by way of an introduction for anyone tuning in who I haven't met before, my name is Tobi and I work as a doctor at the hospital here in Portsmouth. Today, I would just like to briefly share with you a story that has been an encouragement to me over many years and that I hope will encourage you all today also. When I was about 16 or 17, I took some time out after my A-levels and went traveling. And one of the places I went to is a country called Moldova. And towards the end of my 3-month stay in Moldova, I received a phone call from my family back home in Nigeria stating that I needed to come home urgently because my dad was unwell but stable. It later transpired, however, that he had suddenly passed away, but understandably they wanted us to be at home before they broke the news to us. Now this completely shook up all our lives, as I'm sure you can imagine, and many things that we'd taken for granted or looked to as certain were suddenly all up in the air. Aside from our grief at losing our dad and my mom's grief at losing her husband, there was the question about how my mom was suddenly going to be able to provide for 7 children who were all at various stages of education, and my youngest sibling at the time was not yet 10. And it should have been a really horrible time for us as a family, and actually, in many ways it was. But my overarching memory of that time is of the closeness of God. God drew so near to me. I felt his closeness at that time in a way that I had never felt before. I knew him then as my father who would never die and as the provider for a family whose resources were boundless and endless. And I knew his Holy Spirit, his loving Holy Spirit, draw near to me personally and provide me with such a joy and a comfort and a peace that was completely out of keeping with what I should have been experiencing at that time. And many years later, I had the opportunity to go back to Moldova and share my testimony with a group of girls as part of a camp that was run by a charity called Stella's Voice. And one of the things I shared with the girls at the time was the chorus from a song that we funnily enough sang together last Sunday. It's called I Will Look Up by Elevation Worship. And in the chorus it says, I will look back and see that you are faithful. That is, I will look back and see that God is faithful. And based off of that remembrance of what he has done before and his faithfulness, we can look ahead and believe that he is able to provide and to give us all we need for whatever life throws at us. So my encouragement to myself and my encouragement to you, church, this morning is that as we gather together, let us look to our God. Let us catch a glimpse of him. Let us, more than that, have a vision of him so that we can see his faithfulness and his goodness. Now that vision of him would carry us through whatever it is that life has already brought our way or that it will bring our way. So be blessed, church, and enjoy our time together this morning. Thank you.